Hello you gorgeous creatures. So this is my video as part of Charlotte Robertson's January challenge, and I am going to give you 10 ways to test and measure your flexibility. Now I know some of you are going to be crazy flexible and you're going to find some of these super easy, but this isn't like a competition. This is just to check and see if you're within the normal ranges of flexibility, to see if you've got any imbalances, and also there's a couple of exercises in here where you can test and measure and track your progress as you go. So hopefully you're going to find it helpful. I'm going to do commentary over the exercises because my gym was really busy yesterday typically, and you would have been able to hear me speak, so I'm just going to talk over it and give you some information as I go.
So we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up, and we're going to begin with calf flexibility. So you want to start with your foot about 4 inches off the wall and your hips are going to be square. Start to bend your knee in and try and touch it to the wall, and what you're aiming to do is to be able to press it into the wall without lifting your heel or twisting your hips. So on this one you can see I moved it back, but my heel has to lift before I touch, so that's my limit, and then you can just get a bit of tape and mark it, and that's your starting point. Obviously if you got to 4 inches and it was too far, you'd obviously move in and out until you find your range. The next one is hamstrings. So sitting down in a pike position, we're going to lean forwards and try and reach as far away as we can. I'm using a pen to roll along a piece of tape so that I can mark it off, but you could equally get someone to help you and mark for you. You want to try and keep your back nice and flat so you're not rounding off, and the position that you mark is the one where you can hold for 3 seconds. We're going to repeat this exercise with flex feet so that I have a marker for both, but as long as you're consistent and make sure you're measuring the same each time, that's fine. Number 3 is quad flexibility. So lying on your front, you're going to bend one leg in and try and press your heel to your glutes. This is just to check you're in the normal ranges of flexibility. I know some will be able to go a lot further, others you might not be able to touch at all, but this is just to check that you're balanced. Number 4, hip flexor flexibility. Say that quickly. You're going to sit on a box or a bench and slide your hips to the edge. Bring your knees in towards your chest, relax one leg down, and you're trying to get your knee to come below your hip. If you can't get that, then that isn't within the normal range, so you'd need to work on that further. Don't worry if it doesn't drop down too far. Again, this is just to check that you're balanced. I'm pretty even both sides, but my left leg is a little bit tighter. Number 5, adductor range. So I've laid down against a wall and I've put a marker where my hips are so that I can be consistent if I need to check this again. Keeping your feet up towards the ceiling, you open up your outside leg, and then I've just used my pen here to mark off how wide I can get my adductors. You don't want to twist your hips or kind of come out of line in any way, and then you can write the date or make a mark if you're going to leave this bit of tape down so that you can check it. And again, I've done a double test on here because I did it by myself, just to check that I've got the right measurement. Number 6, pancake flexibility. So I'm just lining myself up with my wall marker again. I'm going to open up into a wide straddle. I'm going to make a mark with this as well so that I can keep track of this one also. This is before I'd warmed up, so I could do a cold measurement and then warm up and then do a measurement when I'd warmed up. Just as long as you're consistent, it doesn't really matter, it's up to you. This is just ways you can sort yourself out. So reaching forwards, I'm going to use my pen again, but equally you could use a block or get someone to mark for you. Reaching forwards and then make a mark at the end of your fingertips. Now the measurement you must hold for 3 seconds before you make the test complete, otherwise you could just be bouncing into it. So make sure that you can control the position, make a mark, and again you could write the date on it to make sure that you remember what the hell you're going on about, because if you did all of these, you're probably gonna end up with quite a few bits of tape on the floor. When doing this, you want to try and think about rotating your belly button towards the floor first and keeping your knees upright. It may be that you just get to this position, that's fine. You don't want to round your back off into this position. So you can see that as I lean forwards, I'm going to lead with the belly button and keep nice and flat in the back. Number 7A, standing active flexibility. So we're going to stand side onto the wall, make a mark where you're standing, then bend and extend your leg up as high as it can go and hold for 3 seconds. Then you can make a mark where that is. What you don't want to do is, as you bend and extend the leg, lean into the wall at all, or bend the bottom leg or lean back, because this will give you an inconsistent result. 7B, supine active flexibility, or basically lying down on the floor. Make a mark where your hips are, and then we're going to bring one leg in towards the chest, bend and then extend, but don't pull it too hard because you need to be able to hold it here for 3 seconds. So find where the biting point is, release the hands, hold for 3 seconds, and then make a mark where the leg is. If you pull it in too far, this can happen where you just yank it down and it's just going to spring back, so be consistent and controlled. Lat flexibility. What we're going to do is lie on our back, make sure there isn't a gap underneath your lower back, so make sure your back's nice and flat. Bend your knees, bring your hands above your chest, nice and straight, fingertips together, and then nice and slowly reach them above your head. And what we're trying to do is get our hands or fingers to touch the floor without arching our back or bending our elbows, which will look something like this. And if you want some more information on what or why we're doing all these exercises and what these muscles do, then I'm going to put lots of information in the description below. Number 9A, standing chest and shoulder test. So with your feet away from the wall and your lower back touching the wall as well as your head, you're going to bring your arms up to 90 degrees, keeping your elbows and hands touching, slide them up above your head without arching your back. I think I spoke about this in my handstand video because this is a great indicator to see if you're flexible enough to do handstands. What we're not looking for is this, where your rib cage comes off the wall and you can't reach it. 9B, we're going to do a similar test but lying down on the floor again. So with our legs straight this time, elbows to 90, we're going to fold our hands back and see if we can keep our elbows on the floor and hands touch without lifting the rib cage like this. Number 10, internal and external rotation of the shoulders. So we're going to go for external rotation at the top, internal rotation at the bottom, and we need to get fingers to touch or hands to be able to grip onto each other like this. When you're doing the exercise, I'll just show you from side on. Don't arch your back to create more space this way. Try and keep a nice upright position. And as with everything we've done today, we're trying to find consistency and balance on both sides, so making sure that if you can't reach one side, you need to work on that.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know how you get on with it. I'd love to hear your feedback, and if you have any questions, then just comment below and I'll do my very best to answer them. Other than that, I will leave you to the rest of the challenges from Charlotte Robertson, and yeah, I will see you in a new video soon.